Alright. Back in action and time to head out.
We got the fuel. So, let's head back to Bon Voyage's place. Those Altena mages better watch their backs.
Next.
I can't get enough of this power.
This one is so annoying. One down. No more enemies. Not until next time.
Take it up.
You. Run. You.
I'm getting good at this.
No time to celebrate. Let's get moving.
Ah yeah, it's closer to the port city. The one I'm missing. I'll grab that on the way. Time I haven't really played this, I've forgotten just how much fun it is. Especially when you have all the stuff from New Game Plus and you don't need to worry about anything. Racking up huge amounts of experience, 4 times experience from basic battles. It's actually more significant than that. Since bosses give a really good amount of experience, it's not that you're grinding 1/4 of the amount you need to, because the bosses giving 4 times are the equivalent of probably 10 times as much grinding time, quite honestly. Oh, is he still inside? That's one of the reasons why I'm bothered by the maps disappearing when you go indoors.
Who are you people?
Brought nitromite. You forgot?
Oh, right. I didn't forget. I just couldn't remember. So, what's that nitromite for again? I'm kidding! I remember now! It's for my revamped cannon, right? Excellent!
I really don't understand this scene. They're making his memory so bad it annoys the characters who make gestures to threaten violence. Your main character removes their weapon in the old, not really cutscene of the old game to show that they're ready to kill him because they're so frustrated or whatever. But with his obsession with the cannon for getting the nitromite, what's it do is beyond ridiculous.
She a beauty. This is the revolutionary, ultra-fabulous...
Though it's part of playing up the character of Bon Voyage being an absolutely brainless genius.
Check. Locked onto Volsena. Ready?
This is one area that was annoying in the initial game that they didn't fix a whole lot in Trials, in the 3D remake, I should say, because hard to know exactly which of these holes go into which special underground areas you're going through, so it's not that much faster or more convenient,
Now we gotta
especially if
get
you're trying to explore them and find all the stuff you want.
Strange area. We have to cross.
There's no other way to get to Volsena. Gotta grin and bear it.
No help for it. Let's press on. Maybe there's food. Something to eat on the trail.
Interrupted his speech while he was opening the chest for no particularly good reason that I can understand.
One down.
You're planning to go as quick as possible. At the very least, they do tell you the holes that you have to go into. But if I remember right, there's still a little bit something in them that makes it hard to, I wonder if I should put her on that so that she'll focus on casting spells, at least for now. If she gets an attack spell later on, it'd be fine to have her go all out using that too, if it will work.
Defeat it quickly and move. Next. We are rich. Menace. Defeat it quickly and move.
One down.
Feel strength.
I have to use this for something later. I think it's like actually one of the final dungeons.
Take down the enemy.
One down.
I can't get enough of this tower. Let's take it out before it does more damage.
I'm getting good at this.
Take down the enemy. Burning. Getting stronger.
One of the other quality of life things that exist as well that don't matter much because of my
Defeat it quickly and move.
overpoweredness from all of these New Game Plus
Let's hurry along.
things, especially the bonus XP, is the recovery pots that are around. I've broken a couple of them out of habit. But there are purple ones that restore mana, green ones that restore health, and blue ones that give you more CS.
Dark vision thinks to my blood. Don't worry.
Okay, and those are the two here. And then again, there are two exits that possibly lead to the road ahead.
A triumph. Leave it to me, rookie. And with that,
Peace has returned. Okay, this should put us by the island with that other chest. No, it doesn't, for some reason. That's just to those. See that at the chest that we went through.
Beating them all on my own?
There we are. Oh, that's actually a weapon for me. Yay. 7 more attack power. Finding those intermittently can help with healing resources, especially if you happen to not have Charlotte in your party for easy heals at this point.
One down. Will not lose. Ever.
This one is so annoying.
Stronger than you think.
Bring them on. I can handle anything.
Take down the enemy. One down.
Such power. What can I say? Unusual.
All of us together.
And with that, peace has returned.
Get out of my way before I break you.
So weak. Could one alone. Dangerous. Got you. Just weak enemies. All of us stronger than you think.
Aw, it's just getting started.
If Duran isn't in your party, you run into him somewhere here in the Mole Bear Highlands. Which is amusing in some circumstances because he is usually the person,
I was
if you don't have him and you have Charlotte third, he's usually the person that you have in the prison of Jad who helps you break out and then misses the boat.
Too easy.
Nope. After that clever work of getting up there, I just immediately fall off the log bridge.
Get out of my way before I break you.
Ah, nice. little trap segment. We have to beat the enemies. It was red, so I couldn't have run away if I wanted to. One of my little RPG inconsistencies that makes it hard to do, to even approach speedruns is I actually hate running from most combats in most games. Although for some reason I don't have a problem avoiding the combat in the first place.
This'll be faster if we fight together.
Alright, Valsena. It's rather amusing when, in the localization, they pronounce a Western-ish name in a JRPG and with a more Japanese pronunciation.
What happened? Hang on.
Altaina mages attacked. His Majesty is in danger.
What?
The party finally made it to the kingdom of Valsena, only to find it in shambles from the attacking Altainish forces.
Well done. Release the magical creatures into the castle and fall back for now.
Yes, sir!
Huh? Enemies from the bridge. Oh no! Gotta get to the king!
Alright.
The wizard is tearing this kingdom to pieces.
Oh no, that's blocked. We can't go that way.
Get ready! Crosscut! Aw, it's just getting started. You're gonna feel this one! Back together. Crosscut!
Let's hurry along.
Dangerous!
They did a really good job with Duran in the remake. One of the reasons Duran wasn't among my favorite characters is because he's actually just doesn't work well. He's got slower attacks than any other character, except for maybe the two non-combat. And he's got the best base strength, but the fact that he only hits once means that his DPS lags pretty far behind both Kevin and even Hawkeye. And since he doesn't generally get a lot of super great spells, there just wasn't really a lot of use for him. You could succeed with whatever you wanted, but he just always felt underwhelming compared to pretty much any of the other characters. But his attacks are as good here as anybody else's. Oh yeah, you can't jump over those railings, even on an incline. It's insane. It's really to such a degree that Hawkeye, you would think, would be the worst character in the game because his two main abilities, both luck and agility, are broken in the original and don't work the way they're intended. I think the agility is required for him to learn his jutsus and trap abilities when he class changes, and that's all it does. And luck only reduces the amount of trap icons you have in when you're looting a trapped chest. So those are his two best stats, and they don't do anything at all like in actual gameplay purposes. They're both to affect like accuracy and critical hits, but neither of those works properly. But even so, just because he attacks twice, he's the second best, provided you give him a decent amount of strength along with his agility and keep him in the and keep him well equipped. He'll do more damage than anybody except for Kevin, who is leagues ahead of everybody else pretty much, because he's just behind Duran in power, but hits twice. Max item. I have too many cups of wishes. Hilarious. By comparison, Duran in the remake here almost feels like the best character to fight with. His sword swings are fast and naturally combo very well. Getting that feeling back, I might keep him around as my main character through most of the playthrough, because he just feels better than Kevin does. Hilariously, they have a golden statue here, which seems to beg boss fight, but then they pull a bait and switch. You don't get a boss fight here. You can tell it's hard difficulty. Despite my levels, these guys are not going down instantly to... whatever our super attacks are called. I can't remember. I can never remember what they call them.
Stronger than ever.
more cups of wishes we can't equip. On your first playthrough, if you max out on items and don't use them, it feels a little bad to be losing the stuff there. I think in the old versions of the game, they couldn't allow you to loot chests that you were full, or there are a lot of games that were like that. But since it's a possible completion for achievements and stuff, they want you to be able to open every chest, even if you are stocking up your stuff.
Why would Valda, the true queen, mount this cowardly attack?
Well, she seeks to control the Mana Stones and thought it best to destroy.
It's interesting that all the monarchs in this world have some sort of extra superlative, not superlative, that's the wrong word. They're not best or greatest or whatever, but they all have an additional title attached to their royal title. The Beast King, the Hero King, the True Queen. And here we are, Duran gets to take charge because this is his realm.
You again. This interference will not be forgotten. Until the next time.
Wait!
That's Yuri Lowenthal.
Not again. Stay here and fight, you coward! You won't get away, Crimson Wizard. Not again.
No, it might not be. Who's the other one who sounds like that? That wasn't Yuri. That was,
Your Majesty! You're safe.
I saw his name, I'd remember it. Oh well. Natsu-Dragneel from Fairy Tail, among others.
Your Majesty, we are searching for the elementals that reside near the Mana Stones of the world. Please, tell us where to find this Kingdom Stone.
Fairy. I see. Then you are all traveling under Fairy's guidance. I have met one of your kind when I stood against the Dragon Lord. In truth, I was chosen by that fairy.
What?
Sadly, that fairy was cut down at the hands of the Dragon Lord. I was spared. If fairies have come to our realm again, this bodes ill for the world. Eight Mana Stones exist in the world. The powers of earth, water, fire, wind, light, darkness, the moon, and wood originate from these stones. You will find the elemental spirits of each stone living nearby.
We have already located the elementals of light and earth, Lumina and Gnome.
Heyo! How you doing?
6 remain. You must travel to Paloport by boat from Byzer. From there, you can reach Laurante's Mana Stone. It is the Wind Stone.
Byzer. That they're putting a
Thank you, Your Majesty.
German pronunciation on.
Find the stones.
You need Sylphid's wind powers in order to find the remaining stones. Return once you have found him. Safe travels to you all.
I always kind of like it when you have a semi, in the old RPG storytelling plot driving, when you have a kind of centralized place to return to get sent out on individual quests as part of following the storyline, rather than simply being breadcrumbed from place to place. Yeah, I found all the treasure boxes, so I could just leave. I just showed someone into the courtyard so they could set up a new cannon. Makes sense that they'd be beefing up the castle defenses, what with Altina's troop movement. Come to think of it, I think the canon mechanic said something about blasting all the way to Maya. It's almost like he was talking about shooting people out of that thing instead of cannonballs. Ha! Wouldn't that be something? Yep. How he got here, of course, again, is hand-waved, because this is an old RPG and that doesn't matter.
Bon voyage?
Oh, that's right. It's his younger brother, Von Jur.
I'm Von Jur. I know you want to get back to Maya, but hang on. I'm still setting up my brother's invention.
Wait for the cannon to be finished. In other words, go and rest for the night. This guy looks like one of the enemy knights you fight. Which, in the high graphical detail, like, you can kind of tell that it's just certain layers of a suit of armor. But also looks like it could be a ghostly or pumpkin-y like. What do you want anyway? Listen here, I'm gonna get stronger than you and take your place as the best in the kingdom. Got it? Don't get comfy. Oh, that's right. Attack increases when using class strike. That's actually pretty neat. I should have talked to him before to get that. He's the first guy you fight in Duran's storyline. Your tutorial battle. Everybody gets a major tutorial battle. Like with Kevin, we had to fight Carl. For him, he's in a little fighting tournament being held by the kingdom and earning his mercenary wings and fame by winning the tournament. That guy's your opponent. So naturally he looks like an enemy knight because they wanted to use a sprite in the base game. And again, they generally did keep most of the regular presentation very close to the original game, even if they changed a lot of the gameplay mechanics to make it more interesting and or just improved quality of life. Now that we're in the regular town, goes back to the main character. More Cup of Wishes that I have to discard. Which means I've got like 99 of them, right? Yeah, 99 Cup of Wishes. I bought a lot of them and stocked up on them for a while. I was using quite a bit in the middle, though. These two games, Secret of Mana and Trials of Mana, their base games tend to be pretty darn hard when it comes to I wonder. It makes me wonder how the Duran won't return to his home event plays out. You know, spinny things outside town, they're called windmas. No one knows why they spin. It's a mystery. That's my home. I sort of promised I wouldn't go back until I'd finished my mission. In the original game, if you try to enter the house with Duran in your party, he says that and won't let you enter. If Angela's in the party as well, she takes a dig at him about wanting to see his adult books collection. Ah, the fortune teller. People's lives are 99% destiny, but the rest of your future is always shaped by your will. It's up to you to decide. We call that final 1% hope. What's that face for, huh? Why not get a reading from this old fortune teller? Yawn. Nothing is coming to me. That's never happened. All I see is a fairy creature fluttering around. Yes, a fairy like that. Hey, come by. Are you a real fairy? It's my fault. It's impossible to divine the future of a person possessed by a fairy. There's nothing wrong with your gift. That gave me a cold sweat. I think I should rest for today. Close the door on your way out. Don't know why that's part of the required quest to wait for the cannon to be finished, but probably ought to go ahead and check the weapons shop and maybe armor shop.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Nope. No new stuff.
Come again. Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Leather band isn't as good as the, oh, these are just rings, yeah.
Come again.
Class-specific rings, which aren't going to be as good as the, elemental resistance type ones and such that we're wearing, or the other specials. Don't really need that CS improvement when we already have gaining 200 CS at the beginning of each fight. Why isn't he wearing his bandana? Must have picked it up and never equipped it. I did buy one because I found one somewhere. You seem to be in a hurry, yet you're wandering around aimlessly. What's this about a cannon? I see you're idling away your time while you wait. I suggest you spend the time talking to folks around town. You never know what useful information you may pick up. Once, while I was taking my time on a stroll, I came across a cactus, and not just any cactus. This one could move on its own. It was quite a shock. Yeah, I brought it on now, haven't I? Oh, ha, ha. Except for the cactus part, which was added because of the cactus. That thing is kind of just, if you haven't figured it out by now, they want you to talk to townsfolk a lot, though it's not as big a deal again here because they tell you automatically who you have to talk to in order to advance events. Heading to Laurante, I highly recommend stopping by the night market in Visor on your way. There are many things for sale there that may help you on your travels. Some rare items sold at the night market you can't buy anywhere else. Might as well take a look, right? I'm from Visor myself, so I love to recommend it to others. Yeah, the night market is where you pick up either monster claws for elemental attacks, or you pick up coins for saber effects, to put saber effects on your weapons so you can deal elemental damage, or coins and statues to deal elemental attacks, or scales which buff your party. What are the ones that debuff the enemy? I probably have them in my items somewhere. Oh, yep, magic items. Coins, icons are your higher level spells. Fangs are your, okay, those are, attacks that also cause status effects. Claws and the paw are all your elemental ones. Scales are item buffs. And eyes are your debuff ones, that's right. As well as Poto Oil, which recovers allies' HP. And some of the other oils do weird stuff. Raises max HP, temporarily heal status effects from Bombard Poto Oil. They do some of the other secondary effects. Pretty much almost every spell in the game can be emulated through some sort of item, and most of them you can buy in the night market. So it's a pretty interesting game concept, and it does a decent job of splitting the difference between, or making it so that you don't have to choose your party specifically based on what abilities you want. If you do want to go with a certain party, but you still want certain effects, then you can just buy items to replace the abilities or the class changes that they don't get. Apparently there are powerful beasts sealed within the Mana Stones. At least that's what it said in the book. What would happen if they were released? I saw some sort of cannon in the courtyard of the castle. I wonder what it's for. It's for shooting us back to Maya, since the bridge is still out. It's very amusing that they, instead of just repairing the bridge now so that we can go back, because the whole reason for destroying it was to create a new quest for us and pick up Gnome along the way. But they decide to keep the cannon travel going a little bit longer. Versus the cannons in Secret of Mana, which are primary travel between continents until you get your flying critter.
I'm Von Jour, younger brother of Von Voyage, and he told me all about you. Hop in.
Yes, you already told us that.
Place in Maya. Oh, no, don't worry.
I'm a much better shot than he is. Because, again, so that we would have an area to travel through for extending the thing, we fell short of Valsena. It would also give you a chance to run into Duran and talk to him if he wasn't in the party.
Come on.
Duran, you are very good with swords. Good enough to protect kings.
You're not so bad yourself, Kevin. It'd be fun to cross swords or whatever with you sometime.
First, we get the mana sword. Then, yes.
If you knuckleheads want to go at it, knock yourselves out. As long as you're having fun.
One of the other neat little things, if you're into that, which I totally am, of having different party setups is that they designed fully different kinds of conversations depending on who's in the party. Of course, I'm sure it's not totally different. That was because Charlotte's was just her reaction to the two of them. But it's interesting that
I'm on the job.
Come on.
I'm getting good at this.
Menace.
No time to celebrate. Let's get moving.
yeah.
Next.
A triumph.
Next. Here's a little back. I like that attack, huh?
Right now, the easiest way to deal with shielded guys is just to use the class strike on them. That's what the CS is for, class strike.
No more enemies. Not until next time. Take down the enemy. Good training. Lots of people in Bison.
We should be able to board a ship to Paulo here. Let's go to the docks.
You don't have to be that close to that thing. It looks like you need to be a lot closer. Merchant is full of ours and selling their wares. Gotta watch myself or I'll end up spending too much.
Welcome. Lots of wares to browse.
Okay, finally some improved weapons for the other two.
Good choice.
Oh, exciting.
Come again. Lots of wares to browse. This is good quality.
Oh, good choice.
Nice.
Oh, good choice.
Good work.
Come again.
Stardust Herb nullifies stat downs. I'm preparing to cast off, but it's taking a while. Why don't you take a walk and come back in a little bit? So again, they want you to talk to various people and learn things. Shh. Look, there on the horizon. I saw something move. I bet it was a ghost ship. I heard some skippers talking about it. Oh, I wish I could ride on a ghost ship. It's always been my dream. Oh, sorry, I'm Metello, and as you can see, I'm obsessed with the supernatural. I really hope the ship's haunted. Hehehe.
Carl, a ghost? I don't know, but gonna bring it back, no matter what.
Welcome to Beiser. I'm on the tourism board for our fair merchant town. You don't look like you're from around here. This is your first time. Make sure to visit our famous night market. It's one of a kind. You'll find rare items for sale, and don't forget to watch the Aurora Sisters' captivating sideshow. You won't regret it. Oh, before I forget, the night market is only open at night. Enjoy. One of the small things they didn't do that I'm surprised about is kind of annoying is that there's okay, you have to open the map to see what time it is and what day it is. If you're needing to heal a whole lot, which isn't a big deal, but you can actually sleep at the inn for free on Mana Day. The Mana Holy Day is, I previously remember it being translated as. There's a mysterious item called the Minor Mallet, but even the Merchant Guild that runs the night market hasn't gotten its hands on it. And again, that's something we need to come back for later. Most of that stuff was for the future rather than being for the immediate moment. We'll need to visit the night market to get the hammer. And we'll need to... we'll eventually find ourselves aboard the wonderful ghost ship.
First time in Laurante. What is it like? Huh?
If there's anything you need, better buy it in Palo.
Probably if Reese is in the party, she'll have a little bit more to say about that. I can spin the camera around the ship, but I can't actually direct the ship. That's an interesting little feature. I wonder how long that cutscene would go on. I hit X, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't just a coincidence that the screen finally closed at that point. So it makes me wonder how long you can sit there watching the ship before it automatically transitions.
Palo Port is now a territory under the control of the Navarro nation. Move along.
Palo is in a terrible state. We should ask around town and find out more. There could be a lead on one of the Mana Stones after all. There could be a lead on one of the Mana Stones.
Did you hear? Navarro managed to infiltrate Citadel Laurante.
There could be a lead on one of the Mana Stones after all.
Okay, I better let that dialogue finish so it doesn't keep restarting entirely. Since that Neko person, the cat person, is a friend of Hawkeye, if he's in the group, that triggers something important. Has us talk to him anyway. Gust Hall? That's that cave up near Heaven's Way. What do you need up there? I mean, there's a giant wind statue blocking the entrance. I got curious and went to see for myself. You can always see for yourself, I suppose. No need to take my word for it. We haven't even heard of Gust Hall yet. That's what I was talking about. Inconsistency. I could jump off that ledge down below, no problem. But even though it's directly in almost the same kind of situation, there are a lot of staircases and castles that have a similar look that you can't jump off of.
Survivors in the mountains. Meadow.
Hmm? Hey! You gonna take my order or not?
Sorry for the wait. May I help you?
These Navarro agents standing around are freaky. Reason being that they all act like zombies. Though that isn't, probably some of the other people that they don't require you to talk to make mention of that. Reese is one of the most involved in her quest line since her kingdom has actively been conquered, so it suffered the most compared to most of the other characters. Pretty much everybody's nation is either attacking somebody else's or being attacked by that other person's. Angela's kingdom is attacking Naran's. Hawkeye's kingdom, quote-unquote, is attacking Reese's. And Kevin's kingdom is attacking Charlotte's.
Mountain climbing is
But the only one that actually gets conquered is Laurante, so regardless of if she's in your party or not, Reese appears at several moments here because involved in that part.
we can take this enemy in no time.
Will not lose. Ever.
I wonder if by saving up enough of these question mark seeds, if they would work for these characters, if I could, and if I leveled enough before reaching the crystal, if I could level all the way to the second class change at the beginning of the game here. Would be interesting to find out. One of the reasons I'm enjoying playing Duran more these last few fights that I've been using him is that his power attack just seems to work a little bit better, his class strike. In the original, because it had the same double hit properties that their basic weapons did, Hawkeye and Kevin had by far the best level 1 super attacks, whatever they called them in the original game. It wasn't class strikes. But Kevin's in this is a little bit troublesome because he decides to go charging forward and sometimes doesn't carry the enemy with him properly. Let's go ahead and head to the meadow first. We'll be climbing up back that way again later. Let's see, how do we get to there? Here we're gonna trigger a cutscene and fall asleep to the poppies, or whatever flowers these are.
What? Somnosa flowers.
Hmm. Kevin knows about the Somnosa flowers, that's interesting. Of course, if it had that kind of scent, you should be able to detect it from far away, especially someone who's supposed to have an animal-like nose like Kevin does. Not walk into the middle of it, and then after his party members collapse. Oh, wait, the smell! Some Noza flowers collapse. But whatever. Little events to drive the plot in these old games.
Huh? Where am I?
Oh, I see you are awake. This is the Laurante secret base. We Amazons have been gathering our remaining forces since the thieves of Navarro attacked the Citadel.
Who are you?
My name is Reese, Princess of the Kingdom of Laurante.
Reese's outfit is one of the weirdest in this 3D format, with these detached shoulders.
While searching for my kidnapped brother Elliot,
The basic illustrations, whatever, it looks fine, but definitely in the 3D model, you realize that it isn't attached to the rest of her outfit at all. And it's like, okay, how does she keep them attached to her shoulders?
I believe it is located in Gust Hall, a cave in the Westerly Mountains. You may find your path blocked by the wind statues there, however. We could have controlled the wind for you from Citadel Laurante, but with the invasion...
Then we'll help. We can take back your citadel.
Also, the gem on her forehead looks like it's detached from her headgear.
This is our fight. Once you are fully rested, you are free to leave.
Despite not having any shops, this is considered a town as well, so the party members are absent. We saw Duran sleeping in the bed, but now he's suddenly awake and it's somewhere in this hall. So is Charlotte. Same with Charlotte. Even I'm getting dizzy up here. We captured an agent in the meadow. He's behaving oddly. I do not know how the Navarlans managed to take the Citadel in this state. Okay, how do I get to that chest? Must be up the other path. It goes to a separate direction. 3 chocolates, wow. Take a look at the Amazon guards here. Not one of them is willing to give up. That's what I like to see. Kick. More cup of wishes to be discarded. At least it means my characters aren't dying. Citadel Laurante is known to be impenetrable. It's surrounded by crags and harsh winds to protect it. Retaking it will not be an easy feat. I do not know if we will succeed. There will be a tactical meeting regarding our next move in that room there.
Your Highness, I am so pleased to see you well.
Please, do not strain yourself.
I am fine, child.
How can we take the Citadel from the thieves who have it overrun? A frontal attack would easily be rebuffed by Navarro. Is there any way?
Forgive me, I am a mere caretaker. I never learned tactics or strategies of war.
should consult with the sage Dom Perry. He may have wisdom to impart upon us.
Dom Perry?
Yes! Back when the world was waging war on the Dragon Lord and his unstoppable forces, Dom Perry advised the Hero King on strategy, which led Valsena to victory.
Where can we find this tactician?
This section of the game is a little bit one of the
It is difficult to locate.
more annoying, in my opinion. After quickly getting
They are small,
Wisp and
beings that dwell in Rabite
Wisp and
forests
Gnome, or Lumina and Gnome, before you get Sylphid, you have to, okay, we have to go to here, and then we find it's been conquered by Navarro, which you'd already know if you had either Reese or Hawkeye in your party.
Not like larger folk such as
And then we
us.
have to leave and go back to
Able to meet with you
Beiser,
at all.
to Night Market to get that. Then we have to go back to near Jad in order to meet the Core Poker, to meet Dom Perry. Then we have to come all the way back here and do the retaking of the Citadel sequence, and then we can finally do the dungeon to get Sylphid and the Windstone.
Please stay with your people.
We can help. Find the sage. Leave it to us. Reese can stay.
You would take this mission?
The non-player player characters,
It would be such a help.
the three that you didn't choose,
So, what do we do?
convenient parts in the story with that. When Reese is in your party, of course, she absolutely has to refuse, which kind of makes her whole thing silly. Because the whole reason she leaves the kingdom after it's been conquered is because she prioritizes finding her little brother first.
You must find the legendary Minor Mallet. Rumor has it that the item is in Beiser. With it, you could possibly pass for Cora Pokers.
Quite a name for what are effectively brownies. Yeah, here's another place we can't jump down. Although, to be fair, that's actually a lot of black space that's not considered regular terrain. But now that she has returned after her journey to City of Wendell proving absolutely fruitless. Alright, and that's how we get that chest, because that area wasn't even on the map before. That's a good amount of...
This way.
That's good interface knowledge there. There's a little bit of a interface spoiler in the chest being there. Why can't I get to it? But it's a mystery because the place is completely blank. At least we now get a free cannon travel back to Maya, thanks to Merci, the cousin.
Van Voyage's cannon.
Oh, you know my cousin? The name's Merci. Nice to meet you.
Will this reach Beiser?
But of course. Are you ready?
Yep, fire us away. And they, even though it's totally brand new here rather than established like it was in Secret of Mana, they were able to quickly establish these cannons in no time at all. It's like one of the things that's weird about, say, the Final Fantasy remasters. With the maps available to them, they have markings on the map for every kind of dungeon and everything, which is quite a bit of an interface spoiler for people who are trying to play the game blind. Which maybe is a little bit better because, especially like in Final Fantasy VI, which I was watching somebody play through semi-blind, only played the game once 20 years ago, so didn't have a very good memory of all the secrets and stuff, but was able to find a lot of the secret dungeons because of... knew where they were, knew that there had to be something there, so eventually figured out the everything behind it. But there are moments and stuff he went traveling around and exploring and couldn't find.
Looking for something in particular?
Eventually would find something.
Set up shop like this. Running a shop isn't as fun as I thought. Well, enjoy your doodads. I think I'll go take a nap.
This was a rather hilarious subversion of the kind of fetch quest like this you'd expect. You talk to that lady most of the time, and she's only around during the day. She's waiting for the night market to open so she can sell her family treasure, which is rare and valuable. But she can never stay awake long enough for the night to come. And then when you need the mallet, she happens to remember and stays awake and opens up her shop. But then she decides that after 5 minutes or whatever of running the shop, she's really bored and just gives us the mallet, doesn't even sell it to us, even though we've come as potentially prospective buyers. Thank goodness for us. Who knows how much it would actually cost, since this is supposed to be a rare and valuable item we'd heard about that you can't find any more of anywhere in the world. It's an element partially borrowed from Final Fantasy, the idea of this mallet making people small or not. It's also one of the few changes from the main game that I find rather annoying. Because in addition to being a plot item, the original hammer actually had use for exactly what it was. It could make you big or make you small again. So if an enemy used the mini effect on your characters, you could use the mallet on one or more in order to undo it. So it was an easy way to get rid of that. But in this game, they decided that that was too unfair or something in the remake, so it's just a plot item to let us get into the Koropoker village, and that's it. Oh.
One down. That's what I call power. Come on. Take this. Next. That's what I call power. Take it out. The force does more damage. Take this.
Leave it to me.
Another useful thing about using Duran as my main character is that enemies often will focus on attacking me and head towards me. Since Duran has the 300 bonus hit points, and I also have the hit HP restoration after battle, he restores a lot more, so if he takes a couple of the hits from the enemies we run into, not a big deal. Despite it looking like a regular horizontal slash that should go way under them, Crosscut still hits airborne enemies, hits the entire vertical area right in front of it. If I was hit by a horizontal attack like that while in the air in, say, Soul Calibur, I'd call hacks. A path, a beard in the trees.
Really make us tiny?
Marvelous little cutscene. One of the more interesting parts of Final Fantasy III are when you have to learn and use the mini spell in order to make yourselves tiny to get into rat nests and little water spouts and stuff that normal people can't fit through. There's a couple of times during the game you have to do that. Unfortunately, because you have to be a mini status the entire time, it has the mini effect actually on. So even though the enemies you're encountering are normal rats, mini humans somehow don't have the strength to inflict any damage on them, so you have to use magic.
You three do not look familiar.
We're new. Just moved. Nice to meet you.
Is it just me, or does something about you smell human?
Must be the human I hitched a ride on. Got some stink on me.
It is hard to avoid those simple, stinky humans.
If you guess this guy isn't fooled for an instant,
Do you know where
10
we can
points.
find Dom Perry, the sage?
How about you look for the fellow yourself?
Ask villagers about Dom Perry, I think.
Careful you don't reveal that you're actually big folk.
oh yeah, don't reveal you're actually big folk. Only one of these Koropoker looks unique. And it's the one with the big beard. We're looking for a Koropoker named who's called a sage. Absolutely, it can't be the first guy we talked to. He's probably out and about making mischief. Another one of those places where having a lack of a map is quite annoying. Because if you aren't super inquisitive, you'd never know that there's a chest up here. And especially since you can't climb the ladder, you might just think that, oh, since the ladder's decoration doesn't work, there's obviously nothing up there to go get. Okay, one chest. Let's go get the chest by the beach first. I don't think I have any other reason to go that way, so... Feels very weird that they would give a big map with the ability to find items and stuff on it, and yet, you know, chests and things, and yet they put chests in houses where you can't see the map, nor even telling you that, in having some way of noting that, hey, the item is in this building. It's like the entire way the game works now is made easy to do those collection things and find what you're looking for, except for items that are in houses, the rare times that that happens. It's like, good luck finding it. Like, here's a little ladder and you can climb it because they did a pretty good job with the 3D environment in this game, but I don't know that there's actually anything even up here. Oh, nope, that's the other chest. Okay. Dom Perry? Don't know, but he's not in here. Oh, I saw Dom Perry walking outside a moment ago. When I'm this size, this place looks huge. How are we gonna find Dom Perry in here? Dom Perry's usually out taking a walk around now. Now we can magically tell the old man that we looked everywhere for him but couldn't find him. And he says, of course, because I'm right here.
He isn't here. Of course he is. I am he.
What? But I asked if you knew where he was.
When you asked, I was taking a turn around the village. I did not know where I would be at any one moment.
Such an annoying old man. Wow, that's, deep?
What? Do you doubt me?
And again, Kevin is given the same general reaction here as any protagonist. And it's always the secondary characters who have to be the level-headed ones, regardless of who they are. While I think Kevin would be more, based on the rest of his personality, would just be more confused than anything at this moment.
Figured other core pokers might know how to help them get their village back. Any ideas?
I think Reese, if she's in the party, actually does, whether she's first character or not, is the level-headed one here, but I can't remember.
I have an idea. First, you must locate the wind elemental, Sylphid.
The wind statue blocks the way. Even if we want to find Sylphid.
Ah, is that so? Wind is an ever-changing element. But as the world's mana power ebbs, there may be those who have found a way to twist Sylphid's powers for ill.
What?
The wind is restless. Something may have befallen the statue. Regardless, listen well to what I have to say. From one of the mountain paths in Laurante is the entrance to Gust Hall, a dangerous wind labyrinth. You can traverse the hall by changing the directions of the wind statues to create a path. The rest is up to you. The Windstone can be found deep within. There, you may also find Sylphid. Sylphid can spread the sleep spores from the Somnosa Meadow throughout Citadel Laurante to incapacitate the Navarral agents.
You knew. We weren't Coropoker.
It was obvious. If you were Coropoker, you would have known that this is the only settlement of our kind in the whole world. Besides, I can tell that you have a fairy within you. We Coropoker can...
Someone called her a fairy instead of fairy as if it's her name.
Single glance. I am not fond of humans myself, but I know that if fairy is here, the world is in dire peril. We cannot turn a blind eye. Pardon my teasing from earlier. I just cannot help myself. Oh, there is no greater joy.
Dom Perry gave us a good lead. Are you ready to retake Laurent?
Yes. Need to go to Gust Hall. One down.
I could have beaten them all on my own. Get out of my way before I break you. You're gonna feel this one. Crosscut.
No more enemies. Not until next time.
All sorts of reasons, including lack of space due to, you know, just the size of cartridges and such, limited what they could do with stories during the Super Nintendo era. But even so, the story they've done around this point always annoys me to a degree. Besides the fact that it's back and forth, as I talked about earlier, the thieves conquer. You find out if you're playing. If you see anything of Riza's storyline, if you start with her, or if you use, or, you know, just listen to her dialogue and stuff. The Thieves of Navarro conquered Laurent by using the Somnoza Blossoms to put everyone to sleep so they could conquer it. And yet somehow much of the army was able to run away. Just the king was killed. Essentially, they attacked, killed the king, and then ran away. And then after, apparently after Reese left to go find her kidnapped brother, the only other real casualty in the attack, the Amazons ran out of the castle because they couldn't defend it, and the thieves captured the city. But then they explained that getting subjected to the Somnoza Blossoms, which are right at the foot of the mountain and should be pretty casually well known, makes you immune to their effects. They never explain how the Thieves of Navarro were able to spread the pollen over the castle and to make their attack in the first place without getting affected by it themselves. So then they get the brilliant idea, we have to go to this, you know, brownie super genius tactician to get the idea to use the wind spirit to spread the pollen to the rest of the over the castle so that we can retake it in the same manner it was conquered in the first place. We haven't seen much of it since I've been saving the points for when I get my class change. But the training up in the remake is quite a bit different from how it was in the original game. In Secret of Mana, of course, your level up was simply you gained levels, and each of the three characters had specific stats that they gained each level. In your base, you know, hit points, magic, attack, power, defense, and all that. But in the in Seiken Densetsu 3, Trials of Mana's original, you had 6 stats, and while each character's HP and MP growth was again set by them, it was totally set, and they would gain different amounts. You would get a chance to pick one of the 6 stats for to gain on level up. But each class had an upper limit to how far it could go. And also had, when you changed classes, all of your stats had a minimum that they would automatically jump to once you did the class change. And so each character had certain, once they class changed, except for Angela and Charlotte, who were the only ones who could use magic pre-class change, and that's still the case. Each character had a separate stat they used for learning specific of their spells. Well, not like each of the 6 used a different stat, I think. Because some of them were used more than once. I can't remember. I think each individual spell had, depending on its type, had different stat requirements for learning. But, like, all of Angela's black magic was based on intelligence. All of Charlotte's white magic was based on spirit. And, like, all of Hawkeye's thief skills were based on agility for learning. You had to have a certain agility to learn certain of his attacks, but otherwise Duran and Kevin, I think, had different stats depending on which abilities they had, like whether they chose light or dark. Can't quite remember since those were 2 of the characters I used the least.
Dangerous.
But here in the remake, they just give you a set of training points and put more emphasis into that, and each of the training points having different effects for each character. And interestingly, being required for different elemental attributes for each character. So it isn't like, oh, obviously since Angela's as a sorceress, wizard, mage, black mage, whatever you want to call her, we need to give her intelligence to have her learn spells and give her the power of them. They assigned each of the 5 stats you could choose an element or multiple elements, so to learn spells of that type, you generally had to raise different stats if you wanted all the elements. Not a big deal at the current moment when we only have access. The only thing any of our characters get is Charlotte's 2 light magic spells for doing spirit. But I'll have to raise different stats to get different sword skills if I choose, for instance, Dark Duran. Okay, there's one I didn't get here. I wonder where that is, because I don't see it on the map anywhere. Cannon travel. Probably in those caves up there towards Laurante, which is what that on the right goes to. So adding in the ability to reset your stats at the night market is another little quality of life thing, so you can try out different builds, or if you want to try without certain abilities. But mostly it's because of all the additional stats that they added. Uh-oh. Well, our entire internet has now seemingly dropped. Yep. Well, for the YouTube video, is there a save point nearby? All the way up there past a few fights. I'll go ahead and fight it there and save just in case, because I'll probably be loading up something else in the meantime, so I can't just pause it here. So for YouTube video, you'll see this part in the battles I'm going to be waging. Oh, which I guess is almost done. And the cutscene. And we'll go ahead and save it and put it up here. Statues work a little better in this version of the game. But I shouldn't be talking about that. We are done by all appearances for now until internet decides to correct itself. Not likely to happen again today at this point, but oh well. So I hope you enjoyed watching so far. I will be continuing this on Tuesdays for the foreseeable future, so it'll be out likely sometime late on Wednesday that gets uploaded to YouTube. But whatever. Have yourselves all a wonderful day, and until next time.